There's no built-in way we can force Excel slicers to single select, but we can use some crafty tricks to prompt users to only select one item. For example, we can change the chart title to display a message when more than one item is selected in the slicer. And in regular charts, we can also hide the data. Now there's a different technique for pivot charts versus regular charts, and I'll cover both options in this video. I'll start with regular charts that reference data from a pivot table linked to slicers. Here I'm going to change the chart title to show the user a message, and I'm going to hide the data in the chart when they select more than one item in the slicer. In columns G and H, I've got my data, and if you look in the formula bar, you can see it's simply picking up the data from the pivot table in columns Q and R. Now you might be wondering why I haven't just used a pivot chart, but sometimes pivot charts are too restrictive, and when this happens, we use this workaround to create a regular chart that indirectly references the pivot table data, allowing us to still use the slicer for filtering. Let's start by inserting a line chart, and I'll just pop it up here. And I want a slicer for the category, so with the pivot table selected, right-click the field and add as slicer. I'll bring that up beside the chart. Now I need to detect how many items are selected in the slicer, and I don't have the category information in this pivot table. I'm going to just copy this pivot table, I'll paste it in here, and we'll modify it so that it only contains the category in the row labels. Now by copying this pivot table that already has the slicer linked to it, the slicer is also linked to this pivot table here. You can control which pivot tables the slicers are connected to by right-clicking on the slicer, report connections, and then in here check the box for the pivot tables that you want it connected to. So in this case it's pivot table 10 and 5. And now when I select an item in the slicer, you can see the pivot table here tells me what's selected. And if I select more than one, we can see the list reflects what I've selected. The first thing I need to do is check if this second row in the pivot table is empty. If it's not empty, then I know the user has selected too many items. And I'm going to create a dynamic label that I'm going to link to the chart title that sends the user a message when they've selected more than one item in the slicer. And we can use an if formula that says if cell J8 is blank, then return the name of the item selected in the slicer and concatenate the text actual sales, because this data represents my actual sales. And if J8 is not blank, we're going to return the message, please choose only one category. The isBlank function returns the Boolean values true or false. Now another way you can test if a cell is blank is simply to reference it and check if it equals two double quotes, which is the equivalent of blank. So we get the same result with either of those. It's up to you which one you prefer to use. Right, let me delete those and let's link this label to the chart title. So I'm going to select the box for the chart title. With it selected, in the formula bar, type equals and then select the cell that contains your dynamic label and press enter. And now I can simply choose one item and it updates to reflect the name of the item I've selected. If I select too many, it gives me the error. But what if the user doesn't notice this message? Well, we can also hide the data in the chart using a similar technique. All I need to do here is add times is blank, select cell J8, F4 to absolute it, and then press enter. Now when you perform a math operation on a Boolean true or false value, which is what's being returned by is blank here, and we can see that if I press F9, Excel will convert the true and false to their numeric equivalents. False is the equivalent of 0 and true is the equivalent of 1. So when we multiply anything by 0, we get a load of zeros, and now our chart has lost all its data. But the minute the user selects just one category, the data comes back. With pivot charts, we can't hide the line in the chart, so we need to get a bit more in your face with our message. Let's take a look. Here I've already got the pivot table for my chart and the dummy pivot table for the slicer selection, and the slicer is connected to both pivot tables. So I'm going to insert a pivot chart. Again, I'm just going to pop a line chart in and we'll move it over here. Let's get rid of these field buttons and we don't need the legend. Again, I need to create a dynamic label that checks if the second row of the dummy pivot table is blank. If it is, then return the label containing the selected item and the text actual sales, otherwise return blank. Now when I select one item, we get the label. If I have more than one selected, the label's gone. So all I need to do is link the chart title again to the dynamic label. So with it selected, type in equals, select the cell containing the label and press enter. If I select more than one item, the label's gone. Now the reason I want the blank title returned if the user selects too many items in the slicer is so that I can show another message in the chart that's red and bold. And I can't conditionally format the chart title, so I'm going to use another cell in the worksheet that sits behind the chart. But first, I need to remove the fill color for the chart. So with it selected, on the Format tab, Shape Fill, and I want No Fill. And now I can select the cell behind the chart. So let's just pop it in cell C50 here. And again, we're going to use another if formula that simply says if cell J52 is blank, then return blank. Otherwise return, please only choose one category in the slicer. We can do a little bit of formatting. Let's indent it, make it red and bold so that our users can't possibly miss it. Now when I select one item, our chart displays correctly. If I select more than one, the user sees the error. Now I can't hide the line, but hopefully they can't miss that message. Now we can also help the user correctly select just one item by formatting the header in the slicer. So right click, Slicer Settings, and then in here we can say select one category. Well, I hope you found this technique useful. You can download the Excel file for this lesson from the link here. And if you like this video, please give it the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more. And why not share it with your friends who might also find it useful. Thanks for watching.